What's going on, guys? Miticus here, your coach for the Boston Beedrills. Today I wanted to go over our new team for weeks 5 through 8. If you aren't aware, which you should be at this point, but we are drafting 3 times this season, and we just ended week 4 yesterday versus aDrive in the St. Louis Rampardos. Unfortunately, we are currently 0-4 on the season, so it's been really tough. So my goal with this draft was to make sure that I didn't end up in a position that I was in the last draft, and that was not having a lot of bulk in my mons, and that definitely caused a lot of issues. It made me have to play a lot more aggressive, and I'm not very good at playing aggressive. I like to kind of sit back and take my time and think about what's going on. And that team that I drafted last time, I think it's a good team. I just don't think it was a good fit for me. There's a lot of mons on there I would love to use again, namely Mimikyu and Skarmory I love using. He kind of fits my style, and Salazzle. Those 3 I really loved using. The biggest disappointment was probably Mega Gyarados for me. I just really couldn't figure out how to use him in a way that would fit my style, because he's both offensive and bulky. And I really never knew what kind of role he should play in the team. It's just really tough for me. And it's something I need to work on and try to adapt different play styles. I think that would make me a lot better of a battler. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case with the team that we drafted the last 4 weeks. So, as you can see right now, I'm going to go ahead and list all the mons that I drafted. I'm not going to do them piece by piece. I don't have a lot of time to record this video, so I'm just going to kind of hit the gas here and go for it. First up, you're going to see in the first round, I took Jirachi. Jirachi, I think, is a very good mon, and I kind of took it as kind of a joke, but at the same time a serious pick. And what I mean by a joke is, if you've kept up with my battles, I got in some really bad situations because of accuracy things and some what we call hacks in the Pokemon scene. I try to use that word very sparingly, because I think it has a very negative connotation to it, but at the same time, that's kind of the reason Pokemon is a competitive game like it is. And what I mean by that, for example, is you have Flamethrower, which is very accurate, and then you have Fire Blast. Now, Fire Blast, it has much less a chance to hit than Flamethrower. So if there wasn't a difference in accuracy, why would you ever go Flamethrower over Fire Blast? It allows a lot more diversity in move pools simply because of that. And I think it makes planning and staging your matches a lot more complex, and I think it adds a lot more depth to the game. And that's why I don't think that the game should get or hacks, the term hack should get such negative connotations to it that it does. Now, what I will agree with is if, for instance, you get 3 crits in a row that you had no moves that increased your crit rate or anything like that. It was completely RNG, 3 crits in a row, or even 2 crits in a row. That's still pretty tough to swallow. That is when I say, okay, yes, you were hacked in a very negative way. But you know, if I paralyze you and you get paralyzed, that's not a hack. You know, that's not hacks. It's just I paralyzed you for a reason. That's the outcome that I wanted. So I'm very careful with how I use hacks and all that. But anyway, the last 4 games, I had some bad luck, put it that way. And the rolls weren't on my side. So I decided I was going to take Jirachi because I wanted that on my side this time. I'm not saying I'm going to sit there and try to para-flinch everybody or anything like that. I think that's kind of lame. But it is viable. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it a couple weeks. I mean, if it makes sense. But that's not going to be my full strategy with this team. So anyway, I took Jirachi. He's a very good mon. I Really like him with his typing, Steel, and Psychic. And I think he's going to be a lot of fun to use. I think he's got a lot of viability, and took him number 1. Up next was very, very tough for me. I was thinking I wanted to go maybe Rotom Wash because I didn't think he'd last until maybe the 3rd round, and actually he didn't. I think he was taken by aDrive in round 3, right before I was up to draft, a couple picks before me. So I went with Hydreigon, and I thought Hydreigon really meshed well with Jirachi. Jirachi can come in and take those dragon moves. Jirachi can come in and, he's not necessarily going to want to take fighting or bug moves, but he can. And then on the other side of that, Hydreigon can come in for Jirachi on the ground moves, on the fire moves. So that's going to be really good. And then he also, both Mons have the ability to have priority, not priority, but pivoting moves with U-turn. So I really like the accessibility with U-turn or Volt Switch. I really love playing with those moves and being able to get Mons positioned in the right way. I think that's going to be really good for us. The third Pokemon you're going to be able to see on the layout here is Togekiss. That was my 3rd round pick. I really enjoy using Togekiss. I haven't used him in a long time. Does some very similar things as far as the ability as Jirachi does, but he does allow me another immunity to ground moves, and he can kind of come in on the fairy moves for Hydreigon. Jirachi can do the same. Jirachi can come in for the steel moves for Togekiss. So I really like that core. I really like how they mesh together really well, and they kind of eliminate all the other one's weaknesses. And Togekiss is also very bulky on the special side, and I think that's going to allow us to be able to really have switch-ins to certain situations. And Jirachi's can be pretty bulky too, and honestly Hydreigon can be ran fairly bulky as well. It's not what he wants to do, but it can be done. A little offensive pressure done here with Superior. Superior, I think, with an incredibly fast base speed, a great special attack, in which gets increased every time he uses Leaf Storm. That's amazing. It's going to be great for us. And you're going to see that Jirachi can come in on the ice moves, Hydreigon can come in on the fire moves, Jirachi can come in on the poison moves for Superior. So again, we really have a really good balance here with our first 4 Mons, and I think that's going to be incredibly important for us. The next Mon is going to be Rotom Heat, another Mon that's going to be able to Volt Switch for us, or be part of that Volt Turn combo that I'm definitely trying to inhabit here. He also has a lot of viability with Defog. He can run Will-O-Wisp. He doesn't really get a great stab fire move. Overheat's okay, but it does lower your special attack by 2 stages. But that's okay. He's definitely gonna have the Thunderbolt, the Volt Switch, and he has like Trick and things like that as well that he can run. So he could be very customized to a situation, and I think that's gonna be really good for us. We want Mons that can play different roles, but at the same time, they kind of know what they want to do, if that makes sense. So next Mon, another bulky Mon, Jellison. People have told me over and over again, and mostly I've heard this from Panther, who's he does really well in draft leagues, but he's always talking about getting a bulky water that can recover, has some kind of self-recovery, and Jellison can do that. Jellison's going to be great for us. Jellison's going to be able to come in on water moves to protect Rotom Heat. Jellison's going to be able to guard things like Superior from fire moves. So I'm excited about that. I think he's going to be able to do some good things for us. He can also do a couple of gimmicky things like Trick Room and what else can he do? He has like Water Spout if I wanted to like run Scarf Water Spout, which is a little weird, but could be done. And then let's go to the next one. We got Mienchow, another U-turner with a great ability in Regenerator. He also has Reckless, which is really great. A great fighting mon with, I think, a base speed of like 105 or something. So that's pretty good. We definitely are needing some speed to our team. Right now we have Hydreigon, who has an okay speed stat. Jirachi's okay. Superior is pretty good. It's like 117 or somewhere around there. Rotom is like right there at like 86 or something. And Mienchow right there, right in the 105 range, somewhere around there. So I do need to add a little bit more speed to this team because right now I'm a little stretched on my speed tiers. But Mienchow does find a good spot with my team, coming in right below the Superior and right above the Hydreigon and Jirachi. So not a terrible situation as far as speed, but it could be better. So Mienchow is pretty good. You know, being able to have that Regenerator, U-turning out, recovering every time you U-turns out is really, really good. Being able to come in on, you know, rocks or something and U-turn out, and then recovering that rock damage or spikes or whatever it may be. That's always great, getting myself in a better position. And so I'm really excited about using him. I'm hoping that he will probably be one of my kill leaders on my team. Fingers crossed. Just out of curiosity, I wonder who led my team in kills for the last 4 weeks. Medicham had 3 kills, Selgor had 3 kills, and Latios had 3 kills. Overall, the most trophies is Medicham on my team with 11 trophies. So Medicham, I guess, was one of the better mons on my team. Unfortunately, Salazzle didn't get the love that I wanted him to get, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. I really thought that he could do a lot better than he did. I just didn't use him correctly. And Mimikyu, honestly, should have probably had a lot more kills as well. But he had 2, Salazzle had 2. And I never actually used Articuno. And that's the only one I didn't ever use. It was just kind of tough to fit him in, especially with 4 weeks. Anyway, so going to the next mon is Licky. Very bulky mon that's going to be able to wish pass for my team. That's going to be very, very helpful for the mons that don't have recovery. So I'm very grateful that I was able to get Licky in this draft. And he can do some other things too, as far as like paralyzing with Body Slam. And I think he has some other like status type moves as well. I'm not really familiar with Licky, but I do know that he is super bulky and can come in on a lot of different things very easily. So it's kind of like a less valuable Snorlax, but at the same time he can almost be more valuable in certain situations. So that's kind of what we're seeing with that. I think he's going to be great for our team. Next up is Mega Beedrill mascot pick. I knew from day 1 of this entire league that I would draft Mega Beedrill in one of these drafts. I just didn't know which one it would be. It happens to be draft number 2. So Mega Beedrill is just incredibly threatening. He's got U-turn as well, though we got to be a little bit more careful with his U-turns because he's not going to want to take too much rock damage if rocks are on the field. One thing that we're kind of lacking at this point, well, no, not really, because we have Hydreigon as a defogger, Togekiss as a defogger. I feel like Superior has defog for some reason, but I may be going crazy with that. Rotom Heat has defog, so Mega Beedrill actually has defog as well, but one thing we don't have right now is a rapid spinner. So that's kind of interesting to notate. And I'm going to give you a heads up, we actually don't draft a rapid spinner. So Mega Beedrill is extremely powerful. U-turn, poison jab. He can actually swords dance as well, given the right situation. He has Fell Stinger, which increases my attack stat by like 3 stages. If I knock out a Pokemon with that move, which can definitely happen in certain situations because Beedrill does have adaptability and Fell Stinger is a stab move. So, I mean, Fell Stinger, even though it's like 40 or 50 base attack, it's still going to be hitting decent enough to knock out something and give me those stat increases. So something to look at. Mega Beedrill is definitely one of my favorite mons to use. He's so quick, he's so powerful, and in this latest gym where you don't have to run Protect to get his speed increase, it makes him such a more valuable mon. I think he's going to be really good for our team. He's going to be a very good sweeper for our team, or a wall breaker. Policin is next, another mon with a little bit of his own recovery. I needed a ground mon as well because I didn't have one, and I needed some kind of electric immunity. And I went back and forth between a few different things. For instance, I was thinking about Policin, I was thinking about Rhyperior, and I think there was a couple other mons I was looking at, but I wanted to get Policin, and that's how I went with. I don't know too much about him. I'm looking forward to learning a little bit more about him, but he's a ghost ground type, and we did have a ghost type already in Jellison, but it's okay. Ghost isn't too terrible to have on your team, especially when I have like things like Licky and Hydreigon, and especially defensive guys like Togekiss, a bulky Rotom Heat. I'm not going to be too scared to come in and take a ghost move, so I think it'll be okay. Last but not least is Crabominable. I'm actually really excited about Crabominable. I think he's going to be really good for our team. He's ice and fighting. Again, we kind of doubled up on the fighting, but it's okay. Crabominable is an extremely scary mon that claims lives very, very often because he has two very, very good offensive stab typings, and fighting and ice. When he hits extremely hard, and he has Drain Punch too, so he can do a little bit of recovery with his stab move, which is really great. He's definitely very slow. I think he has base 43 speed, and that's going to be a little bit of a problem for us, but we'll figure it out. He can definitely revenge kill. He's a great assault vest user. If I run him banded, whatever comes in and takes his hit is not going to like it whatsoever. He has some decent coverage options as well, so that's going to be really good for us. So I think, although he's very slow and he's kind of not really looked at very often, I think he's going to add a lot of value to our team, and I'm very excited about using him, as I am for the rest of my team. So again, let's go through a quick recap here. Jirachi, Hydreigon, Togekiss, Superior, Rotom Heat, Jellison, Mienshao, Licky, Mega Beedrill, Policin, and Crabominable. I'm excited about using this team in draft number 2. I hope you are excited about seeing them play out, and hopefully we can get some wins. This next 4 weeks we have Leader Geo, ItzGator, Mewtwo Fan Nate, and it's KayCreigh. No, it's not KayCreigh. It's KayCreigh. The Itz isn't actually part of her name. I'm just saying the last one is KayCreigh. But so that is the team, guys. I hope you like what you see. Leave some comments down below on what you think of the team. The only thing that I see is we don't have a rapid spinner, unless I'm missing something that I don't know about with one of these mons. We have several defoggers though, and I think that's going to be good. We have some really good defoggers, and I think that's going to help us out quite a bit. Lots of options there, lots of U-turn and Volt Turn support. We are lacking a little bit on the speed, and that's pretty much it. I think we have every typing covered with these 11 mons, though I could be wrong. We may not have a rock type, do we? I don't think we have a rock type, so we may be missing rock, but I think that might be the only type that we're missing. Just kind of looking over it real quick. So again, in the comments below, let me know what you think of this team. Let me know what you think about some maybe cool sets that I should try out during this next 4 weeks. And I think we're going to head on out, guys. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of time to record this. It's already 20 minutes, so it's already a little bit longer than I intended it to be. So make sure you like, subscribe, and check out my previous weeks of battles if you haven't already. And make sure that you check out the Beedrills for the next 8 weeks, because the next 8 weeks are going to be very crucial for us. We can only lose like 1 or 2 games to even have a chance at the playoffs. So it's going to be a fight for our lives this week, and yeah. So guys, I'm out of here. I will see you, I guess I'll see you Saturday for the team builder for Geo. and then no, I'm sorry, Friday for the team builder with Geo, and then Saturday for that actual battle itself. So hopefully, fingers crossed that we can pick up that win, and I'll see you then. Later.